So with this, we now move to our next segment, which you all are patiently waiting, I assume. Right? After that, we deep dive into the drinks part. But before that, we have Startup Spotlight series, which means you'll be seeing some good technology in action. And also, you will get to hear the adoption of the technology from the adopter. So the first one, do we have apto.ai? You'll see all the, by the way, you'll see all the AI cutting edge technology over here in next 10, 15 minutes. Do we have apto.ai? All right, we have Deepak here. Please come on the stage. We'd be happy to understand the use case first and most importantly, the impact that your industry, you are from Brigade. Please introduce yourself. So Brigade actually adopted a solution made by Deepak from Apto. And yes, over to you.
Are you able to hear? Hi. Good evening. I think we are between you and the drinks, I guess, so we'll be short, right? I'm Gupta Boda. I work with the Brigade Group, which is into real estate, and I had IT and digital. That's what, when we started looking at some of the problems, it's like, real estate is one of the least IT-enabled or least IT-adopted industry. So it's approximately, take any Gartner report, it'll be on the bottom, right? That means you can imagine there's like, we are like in Stone Age with respect to IT. When I say Stone Age, it's actually physically we have to build that. So, and we are trying, and I come in and say, okay, well, we need to put some IT into this stone. It's like mitti, IT in mitti. That's what was the challenge. And so I was kind of looking for, I joined around 2018, looking for opportunities. What are the low-hanging fruits which I can at least give them the taste of what is called as IT, a little IT. At that time we had at most an SAP, one CRM, and Office. This was the landscape. And one intranet portal, 4 applications. Today, I talk about 58 applications in about 5 years. That's a growth. But before that, where did that conviction come from? To just go back, I'm basically an electronics engineer, master's in software systems from BITS Pilani. I coded things like torpedoes, ships, cars, missile systems, tanks to begin with, then moved to automotive systems, then moved to enterprise systems. That's why last 28 years I've been working on various kinds of systems like this. And ultimately now I'm more of IT adoption and IT strategy. So at one of the event called Experience AI in 2019, done by NASSCOM, I visited like an enterprise user and went around the stalls and met with this gentleman and his partner. And said, okay, looked at, interesting, but the conviction is when you have written code which is like, highly optimized for missile systems and stuff like that, you can't believe this kind of a guy who says, I'll generate code for you. Very difficult for me to accept. But I said, okay, let's give it a shot and try it out on one small problem. So the problem was one very simple. We were, real estate has a very cumbersome documentation process. So a typical sales agreement process takes about 2 to 3 days to prepare. The reason is, you buy a stamp paper with the name, then create a sale agreement with that names and with all the details of, this was all manually done by 2 to 3 people in Microsoft Word. Then take a printout, proofread, then take a printout on proper document with stamp paper and ship to the customer to sign, and then comes back, and then the internal business to sign. On an average, this was taking 77 days. The lowest, it was taking about 10 days, where customer offers to come and sign at the site or at our own office. Otherwise, 140 days if it goes to, say, to US or some other place. This was our case. So I said, why can't we use something to reduce this effort and time? We said, okay, we'll assemble this whole document electronically, no human intervention, with the data already there in the CRM system. We needed to pull the data out into an Excel because it is easy to integrate for this kind of application. We pulled a document composer and an electronic signature with one simple use case, we did it for sale agreement process. It required us to really go through hoops to legal department and business department to kind of accept this, because in real estate, unless until there is a physical signature, wet signature, document is invalid. But we had to prove that there is an IT Act, there is a digital signature is valid and all that finally, with great difficulty and 3 months of internal debate and discussions, we finally said, okay, let's try it out on one project. We started trying on one project. The result was, firstly, some of the customers came back and said, hey, we are really surprised that there is an electronic signature now. That was number one. This was a pleasant surprise. Nobody expected that. Number two, the average time to sign started falling from, it's like 77 days to 11 days. And average, we reached about 7 days. So imagine 77 to 70 days, the DSO, days sales outstanding, has crushed. Average of 400 CR per month. That is the impact that was created. That's the story. Essentially, I would like to formally thank on this forum that NASSCOM and Center of Excellence for giving me the opportunity to, and creating this kind of a platform to meet somebody like this startup. And in fact, we have continued this tradition. We continue to next startups as well, and we kept, on an average, every NASSCOM AI event, we identify 1 to 2 startups for a POC. And some of them stick back with us.
Well,
so I would encourage other fellow enterprise users to please try and give some opportunity to start up, because this is the next big thing we can do for our own community.
Well, all right. Thank you so much for the insights. Well, last time you took a tour of our booths, you found Deepak. Maybe this time you may find more Deepak. Deepak, can you please? Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, sir. All right. With this, we'll move to our first presenter of the day. Well, I remember, I belong to a city called Nainital. While growing up, there, in my town, in my city, there are very small clinics, doctors ki. So I remember while growing up, जब बुखार होता था, whenever we fell sick, there used to be कि वो doctor से पर्ची बना लो आप, right? You get a पर्ची from a doctor. I never ever thought there will be an AI element or an AI segment that will be added just after the पर्ची. So our next startup is Parcha.ai. They are working in the healthcare domain, transforming healthcare with some Gen AI. Parcha.ai team, can we please have you on the stage?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. My name is Rajat. I am representing Parcha AI Healthcare. We are ABDM certified AI-driven healthcare technology platform, which is covering comprehensively the entire patient journey, starting from a small complaint to the holistic well-being. Through AI, we are offering AI symptom checker, and we have created the most sophisticated in-house AI CDSS of India, that is Clinical Decision Support System. Since morning, we were having various questions. In case of healthcare, what exactly these startups are doing for primary health centers, or even just before a while, we heard for Ayurveda, the issue of researches. We are trying to resolve all of these problems, because when we are looking at a symptom checker, we start with chief complaint till the diagnosis, automated triaging, the next generation ITQM. We utilize CDSS to come at recommendations for medication, investigations, and along with that, we provide warning for ADR, that is adverse drug reaction, any type of allergies, side effect, contraindications, or any, so that we can reduce medical error to the maximum. Now the thing, we are mainly we are talking about AI here, so we have deployed this system in Sir Gangaram Hospital, New Delhi, and we are training this with railway hospitals. We have utilized Ayush system for Northeast, and we have seen this platform working in some of the hospitals of MP as well. Now, most importantly, when we are looking at Parcha, we are trying to categorize our customers in three categories mainly. One would be tertiary care centers. They can be public or private, but more than that, more importantly, it will go towards primary health centers, be it the remotest or furthest areas of India or of Karnataka. That's what we were talking about earlier. In that scenario, even doctors, let's say senior doctors or experts, if they are not interested in going to those places, or maybe they are not available, our CDSS can still provide the world class quality healthcare with the least price, even at the primary health centers for all the OPDs. That's why we have named this Parcha. It is an AI-based healthcare platform. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
And they have a booth over there. For anyone who's interested, you may reach out to them. And this is your signed copy of book from
Thank you so much.
Suta sir. Right? Thank you. And the book says all the best. It's a signed copy of Suta sir. All right. With this, we move on to our next startup. We have, all right, those of you who were there in the first session, you must have seen a real life avatar video powered by Gen AI, right? That is being developed by a startup in India, in Chennai. We have Shubham Jain from XR Vision. They've been doing some really cool stuff from Chennai. And Shubham, he looks like a young boy. By the way, he's a father of 2 kids.
Thank you. That was a very needed disclaimer, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, to take me more seriously. Yes, the mic's moving. Yeah, so. Yes, okay, thanks, Naman, for that wonderful introduction. I guess that disclaimer was needed so that you all take me very seriously.
Right.
So, yep, we are XR Vision, and so XR is basically extended reality because we're all tired of saying AR, VR, MR, and all of these terms all together. And of course, Vision with the new Apple Vision Pro, we all know where I am heading towards. And of course, it's all together with AI. So now, what we do is we create AI-powered virtual experience and digital twins. So what that means today is that, so today when you go inside these virtual environments, you face a lot of barriers. Like for example, you would want to, probably download an app, and let's say if you probably need a high-end device also, maybe a VR headset or a high-end desktop to load such VR platforms. And once you're passed through all these stages, then you probably get inside the space and you're trying to navigate the space, like using those WASD keys or using those controllers to move around. And once you also figure that out, then you try to figure, what am I doing here? Like, what's inside the space? What am I seeing? So these are some of the most common difficulties that are faced inside the VR experiences today. And we are here to address all of that and also help a lot of industries solve some of these issues. Now, to give an example of, so this is an image of one of our virtual environments designed for a beach house, which is on sale in ECR Chennai. Now, this real estate developer built this beach house and is trying to sell it to the public. But this beach house is located, like, say, 50 kilometers away from Chennai, and it's very hard for people to visit. So what we've done is we've created this virtual experience that you can see. You can open it in your mobile or desktop without the requirement of downloading any app. You just open it, and it loads on your browser. And with just one finger, you can move around. So it doesn't mean that you need, it's basically for all age groups, whether you're young or old. You're able to, walk around easily. And then inside of the AI, inside of the environment, there's an AI avatar standing there, greeting you, calling you, and also greeting in your preferred language, whichever language that you choose to converse in. It's giving you a sales pitch that is trained on the data sets that the developer has provided. It collects information at the same time. It greets you, hi Naman, welcome to my beach house. Where are you coming from? And then Naman says, I'm coming from Bangalore. And and in the backend, I collect all of that information, which is basically passed on to the real estate developer so that they can do the final sales call and make the sale. So this is just one use case, and this is also applicable to various other industries like tourism, museum. Now let's talk about tourism. First thing that comes into mind is Ram Mandir. Now there's a huge queue for people to, who want to enter Ram Mandir, and the government themselves don't want people to come anymore because it's so overcrowded. So a virtual experience for Ram Mandir where, you're just from the comfort of your home, you're going around Ram Mandir and, you're doing a virtual darshan. But you might think that, okay, Ram Mandir is such a big space, how am I going to digitize that? Now we have a solution for that as well. So for the Ram Mandir, what we can do is capture the entire mandir with drone footage, or probably use data from online, like just take pictures, images of Ram Mandir, run it in our AI algorithm, make a 3D model of it. So what I'm trying to say is basically what it would let's say typically if we were to develop Ram
Shubham.
Mandir.
Almost time. Quickly.
Yeah,
Wind it up.
if we were to develop Ram Mandir in like 3D manually, it would take us, let's say, 6 months or probably a year to do it. We can do it in a matter of few days with our technology. And of course, there's an AI avatar for you inside Ram Mandir who can greet you, who can explain to you what the history is about, the entire architecture. And yes, again, this is not specific to just real estate and tourism. It's applicable to a lot of other industries. And I'm happy to be outside waiting for you and show you around.
Shubham has a booth outside, right? People can meet him over drinks. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you. Well, you all have heard about Chat GPT. How about we learn about Priva GPT, right? Built by our very own Abhilash, right? He's the founder of Priva Sapien, a cybersecurity company. Abhilash.
Hello everyone. We have been speaking about AI strategy today. How about executing it? Because without execution, strategy is just hallucination. So how do you execute? How do you build technologies which can actually solve these problems in the real world is what we are working on. Especially if you are building a large language model, how do you ensure the regulatory obligation of privacy, security, safety, trustworthiness in the large language model? How do you ensure that the model does not violate your or your customer's privacy? How can it be deployed real time without violating these regulatory obligations? This is at the core of the problem of large language models, and how do you solve it is what we work on. So we are launching today, this is Privacy Week. 28th of January is World Privacy Day, and we are in the Privacy Week, and we are happy to announce the launch of a platform called Perai, which in Tamil is meaning for face of moon, and moon is considered as a balance for sun. So what is the balance for AI? So the balance for AI is the responsible and privacy aspect of it. And this is a framework that has been, we have built, and this is across your large language model. So starting with data collection, what do you do to ensure at the data collection level it is appropriate? You have to use technologies like privacy threat modeling. We have products called Privacy X-ray and Prescriptron, which help you in doing privacy threat modeling and doing augmented data protection impact assessment to ensure that this is in line. Following that, how do you do data pre-processing, which is privacy compliant or responsible AI compliant? So you have technologies like differential privacy, anonymization, pseudonymization, synthetic data. These are very foundational to ensure that the data is properly processed. It is privacy preserving. At the same time, it is protecting things like bias. It is preventing bias by making the data fair with the right distribution of representation of people. So that is the second stage of data processing, followed by ethical model training with privacy preserved machine learning techniques, which starts from data and gets into the model properties as well. Once this is done, your model is trained. Now, how do you deploy the model in a privacy preserved or responsible AI way, where safety, security becomes very, very important? For example, let us say you are sending some queries to ChatGPT. Now, you may say that, hey, I have this disease, I want to book an appointment. Now, all this sensitive information are going to OpenAI or any external large language model where your sensitive information may be used for other purposes. Now, how do you control it is where Private GPT comes into picture, which provides user safety. So it will give you real-time annotation of what is the risk in the prompt that you are putting. It will make recommendations, synthetic privacy preserved synthetic prompt as well, which will protect your privacy, at the same time share data with the large language model, so that the objective is also achieved, at the same time privacy is also protected. Right? This is user safety. Similarly, there can be attacks on your model. For example, you are an enterprise, you are building model. There can be attacks on model where the model can be extracted, or sensitive information on which the model has been trained on can also be extracted. This is a foundational threat for your business. So model security is a very important aspect which we have built in. And overall, how do you do the overall governance in terms of large language model building? So this is a very cutting edge end-to-end framework and approach. While there are a lot of frameworks, there are no implementational approaches of it, and we are globally one of the pioneers in this space who have built the entire spectrum end-to-end for large language model governance, including privacy and safety aspects of it. Thank you so much. We have a booth here. So looking forward to
Thank
speak
you.
to you.
Thank you,
in case of any
Abhilash.
questions.
Here's your signed copy.
Thank you so much.
All right, moving on, we have Shubham from Keploy. Shubham, how do you say it? Keploy? Keploy, yeah. If you want a signed copy, you need to quickly wind it up, right?
Sure, sure. Hi, everyone, and thanks, Naman. Thanks, Sushant and Jeel and the entire COE team for having me here. So I'm from a company called Keploy, and how many of you here, I mean, just you can raise your hands, have got some level of frustration from bugs, like especially software bugs? Oh yeah, great. So Keploy is all about dealing with that problem, right? We're all very busy. We need to ship products fast. How do we ensure that products are not buggy? How do we make one little code change and get it deployed, but not break something which was working earlier, right? So that's all about Keploy. So here we have initially a typical development cycle, right? So a lot of companies have a 2-week plus 2-week cycle, 2-week of development, which involves some level of testing, and then a 2-week dedicated testing. Keploy takes from that, basically, on an average, people spend like at least 60% of time testing to just 1 week, so to 2.5 to 1 week of testing. And that makes, I mean, that's just the worst case scenario. It can be a lot faster. It also reduces risk, and that can come with untested code. Your tests are extremely fast. You don't have to write any test cases. It's all made for you. You don't need test environments, so expensive, flaky test environments. And yeah, so that's the Keploy promise. How we do it is very simple. We record real user transactions, and this is focused on back-end complex systems. Many of you might be having microservices, some really advanced technologies, maybe building your own machine learning models. Here you can easily have a way to generate tests and be confident about them. What we do is we just record calls and replay them as tests. So something we've built is we have a lot of recording capabilities for database queries and things like that, and have the first protocol parsers for many databases like MySQL, Postgres, Mongo, and the likes. So we take in all the events coming to your application, all the incoming requests, what users are doing, what your teams are doing in a test environment, what somebody's doing locally, capture that, replay it. When you replay it, you don't need any of the environment. Everything is simulated and run, and it runs extremely quickly. So yeah, that's the solution in high level. Happy to discuss more in detail. And we're also open source, so a lot of people start for free. We have an interesting community of 10,000 members. We have 3,000 stars on GitHub. We're also VC funded from Charate. And yeah, we've been working with some very interesting companies as customers and partners, all the way from the likes of Amazon, Google, or Nutanix to startups like Whatfix,
Right.
Pixis, and Shipsy.
Great.
Yeah.
No, good presentation, Shubham. Thank you. I really like your presentation. When you add animation or graphics to it, you make it even more appealing.
Yeah.
That's your book.
Thank you.
Thank you. So our next startup is CogniFirst, and we have Rahul from CogniFirst. Rahul.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for staying over. We'll take very short time. So yeah, I'm Rahul. I'm the co-founder CEO of CogniFirst. CogniFirst is a platform in unstructured data processing. Let me break it down. Unstructured data is data that exists in forms such as PDFs, documents, images, and others, which is the heart of enterprises. 80% of enterprise data is unstructured. And it is a big challenge to mine information into it or to automate the kind of process. So typically, how do you automate processes around it? You throw people at it, and it's very expensive, time-consuming, error-prone. Or you use RPA solutions, which are very brittle, and they break with many, many minor variations and cannot support a lot of use cases. So you need very sophisticated approach to solving this kind of problems if you want to generate an ROI for a customer in this space, right? So we built a full-stack problem for unstructured data processing. While starting building it, there were two questions that we seek to solve. One was, can we empower the organizations, enterprises, to automate their business processes using unstructured data end-to-end? Second, can we actually enable them to use Gen AI devoid of any concerns regarding privacy and security other than that, right? So that's where we started building for it. Let's take the first segment. So we built a suite of tools. These tools can be combined as Lego blocks like we used to do in childhood by an organization to solve problems of extremely complex nature. Let me give very brief on it because for the sake of everybody's time, Cogni XT is a no-code AI-powered data extraction tool. This is proprietary. We don't use the APIs of big players like Amazon, Google. We built it ground up, and we can generate very good ROIs. We take only 2 documents for any kind of a semi-structured document, train it in a matter of minutes because it's a no-code solution. It will churn, it will go live very quickly. You can go live in days for your solution. Data discovery is CogniSeek. This is typically used in cases of R&D in terms of contract management and other use cases. You have free-flowing text. You have information in R&D departments of companies spread across Excel files, literature review, which are in PDFs, PPTs, and all. How do you find information which is most relevant very quickly? So we can pinpoint to the most relevant information with our CogniSeek. Cogni AD is an app we have developed on mobile phone with regard to some FMCG companies, and now we're getting more use cases. A very lean app, a powerful app, that if somebody went around, took pictures of products, it could take certain fine defects, point out to it, inference it in less than 2 seconds, and then you could take required action, right? So this is what we have built, and we are solving use cases around claim processing, account payables, quality assurance. We are doing knowledge management, R&D kind of problem statements as well. Generative AI, the last one which I'm trying to build on today in the session is that we use a RAG-based approach. Now, people are not really informed of it, but it's a retrieval augmented generation. It's a way of solving a problem wherein you send, for example, our CogniSeek sends the most relevant information to an LLM, and you use the capabilities of an LLM to generate a language to be able to summarize in Q&A. That allows you to actually have a very nuanced answer, an answer that can actually serve for the purpose of an organization. So that's all that we have built. We're solving multiple use cases. If there are any questions, would be happy to take it up.
Thank you, Ra. Thank you. All right, can we now have Vijay and Utpita from Neuron? Well, can we have a big round of applause for both of them, please? Because they were the first one to report for this event. They were here by 8, right? It's been almost 12 hours now. All right, over to you.
Thank you. So, yeah, as you heard, you are the first one. I know your pain sitting here for so long, right? So, guys, we'll keep it very sharp and very quick. I'm sure we all have heard generative AI. Kuch to karna hai generative AI, right? Either in our board meetings or in our meetings with our bosses. Some of us probably have a 2-year vision. 2 years down the line, generative AI should do these 5 things for my function or for my business. What we all need to do is take that first step, right? At Neuron AI, we help you in identifying that first step and easing you into the generative AI journey, right? We help you identify the POC, what will be the output of POC, how will your phase 1 look, what will your phase 2 look like. So we work more like consultant, but we are a services company, right? We are people who have built businesses in past. Like I was a banker, Udipta was with Amazon. 2 of our co-founders, one has been a serial entrepreneur, and the other guy has been with likes of Walmart Labs and Yahoo, right? So we are the right kind of team, very small team, focused, and we come in, do the business, and let you be, right? So thank you.
Well, really like the last line. We come in and do the business, right? Okay. So here is a book. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
So can we have Green Apex team? We have Nile here. Do we have Nile? Nile from Green Apex. Nile from Green Apex.
Thank you, Aman, for inviting me on this particular platform. As Green Apex, majorly we are into the digital transformation services, or rather as in solution, expertise within healthcare and the fintech industry altogether. Major vision that, every application nowadays which are available in the market, they are not all completed in a way that, the integration part, the way the application should be usable by every other aspect of rather healthcare or fintech. We majorly, provide an end-to-end expertise with our cutting-edge solutions, like how the, connected application can be constructed. So one of the transformation use cases which we are currently working with is the KM hospital in Mumbai. So, they have a data since 1987, they have a data which they wanted to make sense out of those. So before moving into the history, before moving into the legacy one, the first solution is to have them digitalize exposure out of those, right? That's the basic part of it. So starting with a connected application, this mobile application for users, the doctors or patients are having their applications, and everything is get connected out of those. The system start generating a data on top of it. Now with an extended usability, the extension of like a billing reconciliation, how the critical care can be connected, how the prescription model can be connected, how the pharmacy model can be connected. So it's all about envisioning the entire digital transformation for the healthcare industry as specific. Again, with the age of generative AI, rather a generative AI, but majorly more the LLM models, like how we can able to construct those particular data to make sense out of this entire healthcare industry. That's something which we majorly focus upon. Again, focusing on fintech, yes. Again, we are working with a Kotak Bank. We are working with a Yes Bank as an end-to-end solution. P2P payment transactions, how the UPI can be constructed in a altogether in connected application. That's what the major solutions GreenApex offering over the period of time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So thank you. Here's your book.
Thank you.
All right, so before I invite our last presenter for the day, can we have a big round of applause, please? Right. For the presenter, and also आप बोतलें खुल सकती हैं इसके बाद, please. Abhinav from Yarnet.
Yes. Hello. Aren't we living in a time where the attention span of our customers has just diminished? And at the same time, the barriers to entry for our competitors have lowered. Now, in this scenario, content marketing is one of those cost-effective ways through which brand can reach the audiences. If you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or a leader in an enterprise and you're not using content, then you're just spending extra money for no use. But having said that, even with the advent of generative AI, ChatGPT, content creation, quality content creation is hard. Now I can give you a lot of statistics around why that is hard and why doesn't it work. But the main reason behind it is because the content creation process is broken. It is disorganized amongst several tools, a lot of people, and very heavily reliant on individual creative brilliance. So what's the solution? My name is Abhinav. I head AI. I'm a co-founder at Yarnet, and that is the solution. Yarnet is a generative AI-powered content marketing SaaS platform. It is your one-stop solution for all the content needs of your brand. Built for businesses ranging from small businesses to large enterprises, Yarnet enables the establishment of a brand content factory. It brings scale and speed to your content marketing efforts. Along with that, it also ensures that it elevates the quality of your content. So what does the software do? Actually, it accompanies you throughout your content creation journey, right from the stage of ideation, where you're looking for the topic you want to build your next content for, to actually generating that content, both text and the visual design of it, publish it on different channels, and then measure the performance of that content. So in a way, Yarnet is your content coach and your creative friend. What is unique about Yarnet is that it is aware of your brand personality always. Learns your language, your style, your tonality, your opinions, your design aesthetics. Along with that, also what your audience or your target customer segment is interested in at a particular moment. In other words, what is trending in your domain. So whatever content you generate out of Yarnet is unique, is contextual for your brand, for your audiences, and is conscious. It's real time, on trend. And the system is always learning with new trends, with new data, and every time you make a creation. Now I can get into how we do that. We use state-of-the-art AI agents, LLMs, vision models. Somebody mentioned RAG. We use advanced application of RAG. But what I'm most proud of is that in the last 6 months, our clients, our customers, have seen a 5x improvement in the speed of content generation while reducing the cost by 70% And not just that, increasing their engagement by 30%. So that's what has been a win for us. Lastly, I will just emphasize on this point that we also take care of the ethical and legal challenges around content creation using AI. We have partnerships with providers like Getty and Statista. So whatever content you generate on Yarnet is commercially safe. Our AI image generation models are ethically trained used from ethically sourced data. So if anybody is interested, if you are a marketer or a business owner or entrepreneur, you can go to yarnet.app, registered, and start using it yourself.
All right. Thank you, Abhinav. Thank you.
All right.
Both your solution and your appearance is pretty cool.
Thank
So I wish I could give you 2 books, but as of now,
Nahin, nahin,
I have
ek
to
hi kafi
settle
hai.
with one. Thank you.
I'll be very happy to have a discussion off stage if you guys are
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. So now we wind up our today's session. Thank you. Let's join us for high tea. Thank you, everyone.